right after I moved from the page, the contact us page, I worked on my footer, and I'll tell you why that's important. The footer can hold really good information for people out there, clients. The footer is also translating. As you can see, my Twitter feed is here, and it's in Chinese, at least some of it. And you can here says go to Twitter or see in Twitter, and I'll show you the other versions of the footer. As you can see, this one is in Thai, and this one is, what's this? This is supposed to be Spanish. Yes, insertar ver en Twitter. Okay, and in Spanish they call tweets tweets, so I guess it doesn't matter. They don't have a translation for tweets. And here is in English. Now I inserted my QRC code and it works. It was tested. I take credit cards. That's kind of important to have because a lot of clients are going to pay you with a credit card. Now I'm going to make a video on how to be safe taking credit card payments through PayPal. And here's the thing, you always have to send the invoice. That's number one. Always send the invoice and have the customer send you the money with the credit card. Don't take credit cards over the phone unless you know the person, because if you do take the credit card over the phone and it happens to be a spoof or someone trying to cheat PayPal out of your money, which is going to disable your account, um, always send the invoice from PayPal to the email of the customer. Have them send you the money back. Make sure you put under your terms and conditions that once you have created the domain name and paid for the hosting, that money is not refundable because that money actually is not refundable from a lot of places. Some people might give you your money back, but you never know when you're going to get that money back. So just keep that in mind, and you can add all your social media. I'm going to show you the back end. I'm going to show you the widgets. This is the footer, and these are all widgets. Now, I have the Avada template, which is a corporate template, and it comes with a lot of options for these widgets. If you don't have the Avada template, or the Avada template, whatever they want to call it, you probably have a text, and you probably have a search, and you might have a few of these. Depending, you can also research and look for widgets for your WordPress, free widgets. Anyways, I have 4 footer widgets. So you have to have footer 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then inside the widget, for example, I inserted the text widget, or yeah, the text. This is for HTML or text. What does that mean, HTML? Well, it means that you can insert code here. Now, what I wanted to do with this widget, I wanted to put my QRC code. Now, here it doesn't say anywhere that you can insert an image. And I tried inserting an image to my media library and then copying the link from there, but for some reason it didn't work. Maybe I did it too fast and I overlooked something. So let me show you what I did. And if you're listening to this, you probably are on Facebook at the International Artists Group. Here is a link of the group. And if you're interested in getting the Avada theme, you go to Files in the group, and on the first link, click the first link, and you will have the theme forest link referred by Cavallo Art, who is me, and then just go to WordPress and type here Avada. And there you have it. It has a lot of stuff for the price. There is other templates that you can try. You can do that. And I'm gonna go back to the group. Actually, never mind. It opened a new window. And that's that. If you need hosting, I have a link here for hosting. Let me see if this is working. And this is working. Okay. If you want to get started with hosting, just click the cheapest plan. That will give you WordPress. And after you click buy now, make sure you fill up all the information here for your domain, and you can get an extra discount if you type here Cavallo Art and click validate. And don't forget to change this to, you can go 6 months, or you can go, I would recommend you go for 12 months, and uncheck all these, uncheck all that, 12 months, and validate. Yeah, 12 months. Okay. Okay, you're getting a discount of 32.85. It looks like the prices have gone up a little. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they come down. Anyways, I'm gonna close those windows. And what I was saying is about the footer. Now, what I did was I went to my Facebook page and I created a photo album here called footer. You don't have to name it footer, you can name it whatever you want. And in the footer, I uploaded the pictures that I wanted on the footer on my side. So then what you do is you click on the picture. I'm going to click here on the line QRC code, and here it is. Now I resize the QRC code. This is you have to resize the picture to the size that is going to show in the screen. Now this is a good size. It's 250 by 250 pixels. So I resized it. That this graphic, I got it. I downloaded it with my iPhone uh, from Line. Inside your account, there is an option to download the picture, but I believe it's 700 by 700 pixels, which is a little bit too big. So you have to have this to the 250 by 250. Then you upload it to Facebook. You click on it, you open it, and then you right click on it and click inspect. That's gonna open the console here for the code. And then what you want to do is right click again on this and copy outer HTML, and left click, and you're gonna copy the HTML from this image, and then you're gonna go back to the widget, and in the text line for your widget, write a title and insert the code in here. And you're gonna repeat the process for widget number 2, which is the credit cards, which I have right here. And here's, I'm gonna inspect, and here is the code. Copy outer HTML, and you copy the code. So when the website loads, it's pulling the graphics from Facebook right there. Now this is the Aveda social links, which I filled up. Not all of them. I have quite a few, but there is a few that I'm missing. I plan in doing more of these in the future, but for now it's okay. And the widget number 4 is the Twitter feed. Now the Twitter feed is a little bit complex, but I'll show you really quick here so you can have an idea on how to do this. And what you have to do, and I'll make this really easy for you, just go to apps.twitter.com. Okay, when you get to Twitter apps, you have to sign in. And when you sign in, you're gonna create a new app. I'm gonna create one here just for fun, and I'm gonna call this test. And description, I'm gonna put testing. And here you're gonna add your website. I'm going to add this website, which is not used in the Twitter feed. And in callback, make sure you put the same link. I believe it's not gonna work if you don't. And click agree, create your Twitter application. Okay, something went wrong here. I think it's the name test. Let's put here the Cavallo Gallery. And description, we're gonna leave it empty for now. Well, actually, I think you have to put something there. This is an art gallery. Something like that. Create the Twitter application. Okay, and it has been created. Now, once it's created, under settings, you're gonna have the information the account that you created. That you can leave it alone. Under keys and access tokens, you're gonna scroll all the way down and you're gonna click here, create my access token. Okay. So now you have the consumer key, which was granted to you when you created the account, the consumer secret API, and then the access token and the access token secret. Now that's what you need for this widget here. You're gonna have this recent tweets, Twitter style, leave it under Twitter style. You have to put your username, the number of tweets. I recommend you leave it to 1. That way you can share images or videos on your Twitter feed like I have here, and you can actually watch the video on the feed itself. And there it is, which I find quite useful. Color scheme leave light, that means that it's gonna be a white background with black letters. Don't worry about the color, don't worry about the border color. Show header, show footer, show borders. Yeah, leave all that on. Don't click transparent background because it's gonna make it difficult to read unless you change the colors, and then you're gonna get into more what you call styling. Now, right now, it's not asking me for here for the keys. It's not asking me for the access token. But when you first set this up, it's gonna ask you for all that. So to make these tokens and access keys, you need to go to apps.twitter.com. And that's how you get this Twitter feed on your footer. And I already explained how did I get the images to load. And they're loading on all contact, all footers for all different languages. Now about the styling, I'm gonna show you the footer styling really quick. Let me make sure I'm in the American English version, and I'll tell you why. You go to the dashboard first. Open a window with your primary language, which is probably English. And once you're here, make sure you select also English again. Now, these images here are global. It's a global setting for the Twitter feed and these images. But the background and the copyright information and the color is not. And you're going to have to do one first. So if you have the Aveda theme, you go to your theme options and you're going to find everything in the footer area, footer content, and I have selected here 4 columns. Leave this on, 4 columns on sticky footer, copyright on, center copyright content on. Here's the copyright information. Then you go to footer background. Here's my image for the background, 100%, no repeat, and centered. Then the footer styling. Here's where you change the color, and I'll show you what colors this are. We have a yellow and a really dark blue, and I'll show you. This is the dark blue here, and then this yellow or orange yellow that it matches my page. It has a button. Let me see if I can move this. No, I can't. It has a button that takes you up to the page. Now that's in the footer, and you can also style that. And for typography, I did 15 pixels. I did railway semi-bold 600, and that's the footer font color. So you have all this, the copyright color. You have all the information here, the copyright font size. Make sure everything is set to 15 so it can match the size. And now if you want to change, if you change that, let's say you did make these changes, the page will look pretty much like it's looking right now. It will look like this. Let me just go back. It will look pretty much like this. Now, if you go to the Spanish version, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look with this dark gray that came with the template or whatever template you're using. So what you're going to do if you're using multiple languages, I want you to leave this one open, the American one, the first, your main language, open. And what you have to do is go to the to the theme options. Go to the theme options and load your footer settings, and then you go to the other version that you have, whether it's Spanish or Chinese or Japanese. And once you're in the Spanish one, you're going to go to the back end, to the dashboard, and you're going to go from there. Make sure you have Espanol or whatever it is that you're using, and then go to the theme options, because it's a different folder, it's a different, even though it's the same template, it has different, it's not going to look the same, it's going to be all different. So you're going to have to copy what you have on your main language to the other language, and you're going to do that, so on and so on, but do one at a time. I suggest you use the American one, the English version, for as your sample, and then do the Spanish at a time, one at a time. But make sure you complete everything and you save everything, and that you back up everything to with the back updraft, and you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever with having the footer looking the same on all the pages. If you did the contact us form in different languages. By now, you should have some experience in working with the multiple language. I've been telling you guys a few times, if you have to go into the dashboard, do it from the the language that you're going to edit. If you need to edit this photo in Spanish, go into the escritorio dashboard in Spanish. Don't switch to English and then go in, and make sure here you have also the language that you're working on, and you shouldn't have any problems. And do one at a time, and make sure you always have this one on. If you get a message like when you save a setting, something that says undefined, it's because the language here is maybe is different from the page that you're working on. So you might get that undefined error. But if you follow these instructions, you should be fine with working with the footer in different languages. And I'm already working here on my home page. My home page is going to have the slider. Now this is a PHP WordPress template. It loads a little bit slower because of all the cool effects that it has. Now it has a slider, and the slider might be part of that. But then again, I have seen some websites with CSS and HTML. They look, they load really quick, but they look like they're websites from like 20 years ago. I mean, they're horrible. Um, if you have a big database and you got a lot of people working in your site, maybe it's okay. Just look at Facebook. Not to say that Facebook is ugly or anything, but if you look at Facebook, um, it doesn't have animation. Obviously, it does let you have a banner, and then it has a lot of links, so you can move around the site. Now it's pretty. It looks kind of generic. It doesn't have gradients except just for your picture, but everything is kind of solid and just black and white. And it has a stream, and the stream takes a lot of memory. That depends also on the device that you're using, but this is a huge site, so it can hold videos and everything. So to keep it moving faster, sometimes you gotta sacrifice a little bit of style and color for that, and that's that. All right, so I'll be working on my homepage in the English version next, and I'll be styling it a little bit. I am not going to add a lot of stuff. I'm just going to have some information for web design, software, CMS, and services. One, two, three, four. I'm just going to have those four items, and these items are going to link to these pages. And in these pages, I'm going to make a more um, uh, a larger, or let's say a more descriptive information about the page and the type of services. Uh, Now, these pages, I'm not going to have the slider, obviously, so I can do that. But because this page has the slider, to keep it from not loading too slow, I'm only doing this for, and I think that's enough to show on a home page. I've seen people that also add the contact us page at the bottom here, like a contact us, but it's not really necessary because you have the contact us page, and you can click on that, and the menu is a sticky menu. It follows you anywhere you go, so you can always navigate through the menu without having to go all the way up to the page, even if you use that button. So that's that. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. I'll be making my next video on the home page, and that's gonna be also translated to Spanish, Thai, and Chinese. I would like to see how that's gonna work with the text. Images are not so difficult to translate. I mean, they don't need translation, but we'll see how that works with the text. You might have to modify the size to make it fit better, but I'll show you guys what I'm doing on my next video. Thanks for watching.